Alright, here's the ChatGPT we started today. So what we're going to look for is port 443 first terminal. So port 443 is the port on your PC that sits in between yourself and the network. How do I find this? Its protocol is HTTPS versus HTTP for port 8080 right here. So this is the buffer between your computer and the internet, like the internet as we see it. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to build a tool inside this C++ GUI that pulls financial stock data from the internet. So where I'm at with this is you have streaming, which requires a WebSocket, and you have HTTPS polling. So WebSockets are a connection over the internet, and then HTTPS polling is also requires internet, but it's not a constant connection. So let's ask, so difference is constant connection versus page requests. Oh, I can't spell. Yeah, so that's the difference between a WebSocket and HTTPS. So why don't we let's start with this libcurl. Why don't we do both? Okay, let's start with the HTTPS polling to get it operational. Alright, so I don't want all this yet. Let's start with the backing libraries like libcurl. Benefit. Okay. If I push the Okay, so we're gonna do signals and slots for the libcurl. What's the libcurl install command? So let's go ahead and install libcurl. Oh, I've got to uninstall conda deactivate. Gotta uninstall that. That's super annoying. Sudo apt upgrade -yes. Alright, here we go. Installing the updates and upgrades. So if people aren't familiar with, I guess if someone's not familiar, the -y is an argument that you can add to the, so it's like sudo super user do apt update. It's usually upgrade that asks you for space. -yes answers yes when you install the packages. So now it's done. Okay, so now let's copy, open SSL support. Okay, it's already installed. So cool. Package name for curl libcurl. Okay, so we're gonna add libcurl to the project we made. So let's go to our CMake. Oh no, my keyring. Alright, so we did Qt6, then let's find package curl. Oh, oops. Then we'll go here and see Qt stock GUI, copy, CD, paste. CD. Actually, I'm gonna remove folder build and make directory build and change directory to build. So let's run our CMake again. Let's run a make. Alright. Great. So we need to link curl libcurl out of this. Then curl libcurl make. Alright, cool. So that works. Now curl, not libcurl. Let's do a message, added package, curl. I don't want that. Alright, so that's done. What are my includes? Curl each. Alright, now let's see how we're doing. Make. Alright, looks good. So we got our curl inside there. Alright, so that works. Actually, I'm going to ask it how to get rid of this. Why can you help me remove? Okay, so update the VS Code properties.json. Where is this at? Qt stock GUI CPP property. I see. Include path Qt5 widgets. We want Qt6. Let's look through this and see. Oops, I don't want that. I want to do this. Whoa, Qt5. It's got the wrong Qt. Home. Qt. let's replace that. All right, there we go. All right, now we're looking good. So compiler path, that's fine. Thanks, Chad. Cool. That's pretty cool. ChatGPT is super useful. Oh my god. Let's close this. What the hell? What was in here? Oh, let's try this. Let's see what it changes to. Wow, this is super annoying. Well, that does not exist. I need to provide include paths. Okay. Where's include? Include. Oh, jeez. Alright, why don't we just search from here? How do I search? Q. Alright, let's look for QWidget.h then. Oh my god. Alright, so let's try it. Is there application on here? Qt core. Oh my god. Abstract array. Q array. It's a Q application. Jeez. I'm gonna include this. And if this doesn't work, I'll let it go. doing this. No luck. Let's see. Let's see chat. Let's see how it does. Add all these folders and call it a day. Well, looks good for now. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and in the main window we will create a let's start libcurl thread. We'll do this, and then we will start libcurl thread. Do this. We'll set our constructor comment destructor slot to start lib curl. So it doesn't have a return type, it's a slot. So there we go. See how I declare this in signal and slot. So what is the public? It has an access specifier, public slots. Should be all good. Nice. So let's add some of my favorite comments inside this. Then we need to include IO string for that. And then this is finished. Now we need to do this. Take this out. Then we can propagate them down. All right, let's do cmake make after this builds, we'll run this and see /. copy, paste. Cool. Alright, so I'm actually going to change the name of this because my stock. Then let's go back one directory and run this command again to clear this cache. I don't want to do that. Oh, my bad. I need to redo that. Okay. Actually, I don't need to make that a signal. I can just make that a button. So what we'll do for now is we'll do a Q push button, say button equals new. We'll add a new button to this. I do need to pass this into there. Mess that up too. Then we can include Q push button. Okay. Let's make it, let's call it libcurl for now. And then we will, my C doesn't really work anymore. So for now we will do this, set up the button, just make and then we will do a connection, connect button, push button, press this, and then this. What the hell? Well, that is insane. No thank you for that. We just want to do what we want to do. Q push button. This. Key press event. Clicked. Connect. Oh, the button might already be a... That's so dumb. This button is a pointer, so it needs a sender pointer, signal type, where it's going, and then what function it's going to, what the slot is. Okay, so when we click that button, it should start. Use of non-static member function. Clicked. Oh, it needs to be stopped. I mean, you can't have a. Yeah, it needs to be a reference. Cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're now gonna make a class. For now, we'll call it lib. Let's call it polling thread, and we'll make, oh, I don't want that, I don't want that. Let's do this. Polling thread. Okay, so this is the header guard, and then class. So we need to inherit from QObject because QObject will be a type, and we can't use QThread without QThread without the class type being a QObject. So let's go ahead and do our constructor and destructor. When I say this is a QObject, I probably do. Then we have a QWidget parent equals null pointer. Then we have to pass in this default argument. Well, we're going to leave it as a default argument, but it doesn't know that yet. So we got the includes here. Oh, that's annoying. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Copy, paste. Then I need to add this to the so it's F2. What's that? Copy. Shit. Oh, what am I doing? Alright, let's do our build file again. Then we'll make the new file, or make the new executable. Qthread. So this is the way this typically works. So we need to include Qthread. And then we need our object. So we need to include polling thread.h. We can rename that later. Worker equals new. So this definition is actually very similar to the way you define things. Like the definition isn't really similar, but what we're doing is this is a Q object, so we can use it with other Q objects like Qthread. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say worker move to thread Qthread. Oh, sorry, worker thread. And then what we can do is we can make connections between our updates. I'm going to say worker start. I'm going to say worker thread start, and that'll start the thread. And what we need to do now to get this to work correctly is we need to make a, usually just call it run for now. We need to make some kind of slot. Public slots void run. What we need to do is set up some way for it to execute something. And we need to set up our connections between connect connect worker thread, and then we have we need to pass a reference to this, and we say no, it's worker is the thing, and then it's a reference to this run. Then we need to make a connection to so the quit is what we're looking for. Connect worker thread, connect worker, copy. So what we're doing is we're setting up events that will execute when the signal is, we're setting up the signal Slack connections that will execute when that'll execute so we can have our thread run right. So is it quit? No, it's quit. Lowercase. Finished. Emit. So it doesn't know this exists yet. So I'm going to define it up here. Void finished. that should update at some point. Cool. Then we need to delete later for both these objects. So delete later for both the worker and the thread. Okay, so copy, paste, polling thread finished, delete later. So this stops the thread, and then worker Q object oh, I didn't spell it right. So this is why this has to inherit from Q object, because if we want to use the Q thread functionality in this Q object functionality, we need this to be a Q object. So let me ask it, how can I delete pause for 3 seconds or something? Let's use Q thread. Plus it's a blocking wait, so this is fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we need to include Q thread, which I have up here. Copy. Oh, that didn't copy. My C button isn't doing very well. I can probably change that actually, so that's set up. So let's go ahead and make this. See if I made any spelling errors. Segmentation fault, core dumped. What does that mean? Oh, equals new Q thread. This is that I created a static copy, so when this went out of scope after the thing started, it just crashed. Whoops. This should be fine now. Connect. Signal not found in Q thread. Q object connect. It's a weird error. Signal not found in Q thread. Let's see what that means. Let's close this. What would be our signal here? This is our slot, but that comes from Q thread. This is a slot, but these have been declared run and then signal finished. No. Nope, we've got the Q object macro right here. It's weird. Q object connect, signal not found. Let's keep reading. I wonder if I'm doing something like that. Polling thread finished. Copy. Oh, I don't wonder if it doesn't take any arguments. Nope. Well, I guess we have to do that. Don't want to go to chat, but what is going on? Alright, let's see what this error message means. Oh, is quit? No, quit's part of Q thread. Oh, I can't connect these because oops. So I have to do this. Copy, paste. Paste. Q thread finished. Copy. Can I not spell? What am I doing wrong? Oh my god. My eyes didn't even see that. When doing software, it's usually, the problem is usually very simple. Exactly that kind of thing. Copy, paste, oops. I'm just gonna copy and paste this. Copy, paste, copy, paste, oops, paste, worker, Q object, delete later. Alright, let's build this. That's what we were doing wrong. We connected that to all three of those things. What? Oh my god. I've had enough of this. What am I messing up? Oh, started. That would make a lot of sense. Okay, so now let's have this Let's go back here and see what's going on. Qt polling thread run. Alright, let's insert some things in here. Same as in here. Copy. Paste. Paste. Copy. I need to do this. Actually, I'm not going to worry about all that stuff for this. So, stream. Then let's do this. So we can make multiple calls to that because it pushes it out into a queue thread. That's kind of cool. It's always good to actually put these print statements in so you can see what the heck's going on inside your program. Copy. We'll just start pasting these like so. And then we'll do it here too so that we can actually see what this output text is. That's cool. So it hits the constructor and then the destructor. Waits 1, 2, 3. Done. Okay, let's quit. Cool. Alright. Curl options, so we need to set up the options, URL. Interesting, so you just use fetch and it does all the work for you. And then you pass it a callback. Where does the callback get passed in? Right, callback, where does the callback get patched in? SSL is the SSL is the encryption tool. Well, it was like SSL was replaced by TSL, but it's still called SSL because legacy things. So curl, easy perform curl. So you make a curl initializer. Interesting. API key. Where is the... That's fair. I guess I should change that actually. Q object. Oh shit, I'm in the straight up wrong class. It's not a widget, it's really an object that just does stuff. And I need to do this, let the compiler sort it out. Well, that's pretty easy actually. let's go ahead and do this. Nick 22. Alright. Now, oh, jeez. Let's see. It's probably the socket. Let's stay with the API polling. Okay. So let's go ahead and set up probably need to include all these things. Copy. We'll paste them up here. We'll put that down there. So let's go ahead and initialize, and then so we'll put that here. Our initializing in our constructor, and then the cleanup we will do inside here. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and make this and see if we have problems or not. Alright, looks like it built. Sorry, I gotta go get a fly. That's so weird. I just got back from a trip and there's like 4 flies in here I had to go crush. Oh my god, is that a fit? What the fuck are there so many flies? Where does this come from? Oh my goodness, well, that was crazy. Okay, so after that was probably 10 flies I just killed. After that escapade, let us run this GUI. 2, 1. Alright, so that executes without issue. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this in here. I don't see where this callback occurs. So let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll just take out the stuff that they well, let's put the Q thread back in. Alright, so looks like it already did all the stuff it was supposed to. That's pretty cool. So curl's doing its job. String URL, copy. Let's go in here and let's paste this. What do they put the input argument as? Fetch AAPL. We'll just do this. I guess it is a string. Then we'll take and copy and paste this from the copy, paste. We don't need that because it is a string. Okay, alright, let's make this just as like a check. Alright, I don't need any of that because I'm not going to do it the way they want this to be done yet. Copy. So I guess they're using C string to do this. Response. Easy opt. Callback. So they have a write callback function. So the callback function is contents, num members. That's fine. Copy. This is a C style callback function, so this is like it's written in C and C++. And then let's curl code. So that gets set up, and then let's do this. This needs to be done next. Paste. Alright, let's go ahead and make this. So I guess it's already done its thing. Let's close. Paste. I don't like the way that's set up. I like to do it like this. Delete. I'll do like a do this for now. If not, we'll just, wow, it doesn't work at all. Copy, paste, data fetched. Curl code res. Oh, whoops. I don't want to do that. I want to put that down here to have a little delay so I can read stuff. This is short for result, probably. Let me make this. Curl. Complete data fetched. Okay, let me. Huh. So I receive a JSON object like this. Where is my JSON object? Oh, it's probably inside the callback. Response. Alright. Okay. Let's use Q then. Alright. I hate doing this, but why not? So what we want to do is print the JSON data out. But Qt6 doesn't have the Q. We should include this then. That should go away. Include. Yeah. Uh-oh, it's still red. Oh, copy. Well, that won't build. Let's fix that. Paste. That should all go away at this point. Yeah, there it goes. And then what else do I need? It's my other library. JSON. Ah. The response. Oh, shit. Copy. Alright, well, I guess we can just convert. Directly like this. Let's see if we need to include QString or if it's included in something else. I like to include it here for myself so I know what I'm putting into this. Alright, well, there it is. That's pretty cool. Let me do, at the end of this, like, let's do a new line. And then we will, oops, looks like they have a character down there for that. Alright, let's copy this. Let's paste this. Paste. 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 Then that one gets an end line after it, so it's good. Let's see. Invalid JSON format. We're at. Oh, well, my phone died. That kind of stinks. I guess we should do mid-finished here, or this GUI's gonna freeze every time. Alright, well, I guess I'll go plug my phone back in. Alright, so let me go ahead and check this out. Let me comment this. Curl writes the API data into a JSON format for parsing. All right, let's go ahead and make Alright, so that's cool. That errors out now and it comes back to the main thread. Nice. A Qt6 Okay. Alright, and then these are cool. Alright, so my phone just turned back on, and let's go ahead and connect back to the internet. Cool. Then I don't need to make this again, that's just a habit, LOL. Let's stop going. Authentication? What? Turn it off. Turn it back on. What the hell? Alright, there it goes. Let's do this. Alright, well, what did I do? Oh my goodness. I didn't even catch that. That's really dumb. Why didn't somebody tell me? Let me close this. Build it again, LOL. The girl. Cool. Alright, cool. So we can put spaces in here too. Cool. It's just going to give me the same data every time. let's do that. I meant to put that there. Oops. Close that. That should be fine. What? Last update. What the hell? I think we do this. Yeah, that's our problem. It needs to become just a std string. Alright, let's make that like readable. 1600. What is today? Oh, 1600. 21. 1600. Cool. Nope, that's off. Alright, I think that's all I'm gonna do for now. It's in a pretty good spot. I'm gonna delete that. So the next thing I can do is like maybe add a Kalman filter or something for tracking and that kind of thing. Yep. So that's where I'll stop this video.